So here we go again, one more episode talking about soccer, talking about football, And today I have the opportunity to talk to a guy from Russia, and he works for a club called How do you say Lokomotiv?
Yep, yep, Lokomotiv Moscow.
Lokomotiv Moscow, yeah. And I'm very curious to listen to you about your club, your job, your football in Russia. And so, Daniel, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for coming on. It's my pleasure to have you here. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. So thank you, Igor, for reminding me. Let's go. Let's go. Yep.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, Daniel, please, I would like to start asking you to, tell a little bit like how Coach Daniel today works for Lokomotiv Football Club. Are you like some people are like a former football player, some people didn't play but love the sport and want to work, in this environment. So how Coach Daniel today, works for Lokomotiv?
Everything is fine. Lokomotiv. Let's get back to the history. We have five or six major clubs in Russia, and maybe from Champions League, CSK Moscow for sure, Zenit St. Petersburg, Spartak Moscow is one of the famous club in our history and history of Russian football. We have a Dynamo Moscow, Krasnodar FC is last year he was a champion of Russia, and Lokomotiv, one of the major club in Moscow, and we have five clubs in Moscow actually: CSK, Spartak, Lokomotiv, Dynamo. We have a Torpedo FC, and Lokomotiv is he was a champion in Russia. Last time he was in 2017, the last Moscow champion of Russia for this time, and Lokomotiv Moscow is the one of the major of national clubs in Russia because we have a lot of young players. We have the best academy in Russia, the best one for this time, and we have a lot of young players. We have a lot of young developments, and young players under 21 years is I don't know how to say that, but this they sell them for huge prices in every Russian club and every Europe Cup. Right now, Lokomotiv has the big star, the Alexei Batrakov. Maybe you know him. Right now, he has a deal with the Paris Saint-Germain, very close deal. Paris Saint-Germain wants to join them, and that's all, I guess. The quick reminder of Lokomotiv, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, but are you a former footballer, or did you just start to you felt like you want to work in a soccer or football environment?
Yeah, I was a player. I was a professional player before, but no, I'm not playing in Moscow. I was a futsal player because I was born in Siberia, and this is very, very far away from Moscow. And we don't have a 11 on 11 football. We have only futsal because we are too cold region from Russia because we have a minus 30 degrees for Celsius in winter, and that's okay, yeah, we are not dying in snow, but that's not a football region, and we have a futsal team. I was a futsal player, and then every my career I was a futsal player, but not playing too much professional 11 on 11, but I was a youth championship of Russia when I was a futsal player of my university, and I broke my leg when I was 16. I have a ACL injury twice. I was a hockey player too, so I'm ending up my sport career when I was 17, and focusing on study. And I joined Moscow when I was 17 in 2018, when the World Cup in Russia begins. So, and I'm decided to give all my powers to coaching. Yep, and study in physical education. And I began my coach career when I was 20 years, and I'm coaching my younger brother, and start working as a coach at university at futsal. When I was 22 years, Lokomotiv gave me a chance to be an analyst in women team. So I'm starting my career when I was 22 in Lokomotiv Moscow. Right now I'm 25, so I'm working in Lokomotiv for 3 years now, and I'm starting like as an analyst, and became coach in last year, and I was on C UEFA. Right now I'm studying B UEFA, and so right now I'm here.
Okay, that's very nice, man. I used to play futsal my entire life. I didn't go pro. At some point, I used to play futsal and soccer and football, but I couldn't become pro, 18, 19, 20 years old. Everything was so difficult. And then I decided to go to the army, the Sergeant Academy in Brazil. And then I went to the army, and then I played for the army national team 2003. But futsal for me is the foundation. You know what I mean? Like, even today, when I coach my teams, when I coach private, anything I do in terms of coach, I believe a lot in futsal. The cognitive aspect, the ability to see, perceive, and process the information, make decisions. I believe futsal is a big plus, for kids, especially 12, 13 years old and down. I believe a lot in futsal, so it's
I'm
nice.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
100% for this opinion, because I know in Brazil has a lot of futsal players, because you don't have a lot of big pitches. The region is too poor. Many regions are too poor, and a lot of kids start to play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, of course. And the Russian national team of futsal once a time was a champion of the world, and 3 times they was the second team, the second best team in the World Cup, the futsal players. But 10 players of 20 was Brazilian players, so they were naturalized in Russia, because a lot of Brazil players are in the squad. They are strong, and they don't have a opportunity to play for the Brazil national team, and they moving to Russia because the Russian futsal are too good. This is one of the best league in the world. The club, I mean, the club league. And of course, we have Lima, we have Romario in futsal players. I remember them, and that's okay. Brazilian are everywhere. So in Russian national team of football, we have Mario Fernandez for sure. We have Ari, if you know who it is. We have Guilherme. Right now, he was a Lokomotiv player, and he was a goalkeeper. Right now, he's a coach in Lokomotiv Moscow Academy. He speaks very well in Russian, so he has Russian passport for sure.
Okay, that's very nice. Yeah, I know that. Even football, soccer, football and futsal. I know Russia league is very strong, very competitive, and financially very good for the players. It's a very high level. Even futsal or football, it's a very high level. So I would like to ask you, how was your feeling? When like 1 year before the World Cup, everybody is excited, very excited about the World Cup, and we. How was the feeling there in Russia, being in a situation that Russia will not participate in the World Cup, and personally, I think it's very sad. They say, I see here on media, because of the war, but because of the war, we have Iran in the World Cup, and also have war, involving Iran. So I didn't understand what is the point, but how was the feeling there? Because you guys should be there, and it would be tough to beat you. So how was your feeling in Russia with a World Cup and you cannot compete?
Of course, we are upset, like everywhere here. We want to join European qualifying and World Cup tournament, but it is what it is. It is what we have to do right now: fight for our opportunity, fight for our people, and that's sad, of course. But it's politic, We that's UEFA and FIFA says the football out of politics, but sometimes something goes wrong and someone don't want to play with us, but we understand that we are preparing for returning. Of course, every year we have a lot of news and social media that we are coming back, but just wait 1 year, wait another year, and of course we are upset, but we are not stopped to working. We are not stop working. We are working on our pitches every day. We have a lot of friendly matches against Serbia, against Bosnia, against Croatia, and against Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and everything like that. Of course, right now we have a lot of sports that bring us back. For example, volleyball. 3 or 4 days ago, they unbanned us from every tournament, and Russia is start playing volleyball. Russia is start playing in handball, and of course we are waiting for football, but we know it was very difficult. But we have one story right now, because UEFA is UEFA don't give opportunity to play in the national tournaments, but our Russian football union decided to go to Asia, but UEFA says no, say stop, just wait for everything. Don't go to Asia, stay in the UEFA. And right now I'm studying in Russia for UEFA B, they don't ban us to study, they says, okay, you can study, okay, you can go to vote in UEFA decided and something like that, but we can't play right now. Just wait for another year and something like that.
Okay, I got you, man. Yeah. Let's go to Lokomotiv. You have been there for 3 years, as you said, right? What can you tell us in terms of concept, identity, methodology? What can you tell us about Lokomotiv Academy in terms of, producing? Like, here in the United States, they have a lot of very, very good facilities. They have financial power. They have people that love the sport. People love soccer here. But they don't produce. So they have money, they have facility, they have the love, they have everything, but they don't produce the world-class players. You know what I mean? Like if you go to Panama, the population is like, I don't know, maybe 10% or less than the United States of America. And maybe they produce more and better players than the United States. So what can you tell us right there with, the club you are working right now? What is something that you see that is good? It's high level, it's identity, it's methodology. What can you tell us about Lokomotiv Academy that you think is good for to share, you know, the information with us?
Okay, I got you. I understand your point because USA don't produce many superstars because it's like the football is not social. It's not for earning money. It's just like enjoying. Okay, my son can enjoy here. Okay, he can enjoy in baseball, he can enjoy in hockey, everything that you want. But in Panama, people watch Brazilian footballers, Argentinian footballs. They don't have money for it. They have 9 or 10 people in the family, and they want to die on the pitch because they want to show that I can do that. And they hard working. If the kid in America can training 5 times, or I mean 2 or 3 times in a week, but Panama children can training like 7 times in a week, 10 hours in a day, because he wants that. He wants to live. He wants to play football and live, and earns a lot of money to feed his family. But this is like you understand my point. I mean, yeah. But in Russia, we don't have that many problems of poverty because I mean, we love football very much because this number one sport in Russia. We have a strong hockey, we have strong volleyball, we have strong futsal, but we have Lev Yashin, in 60s and 70s. We have a strong USSR national team. We won Euro in 1966, with Lev Yashin, Viktor Ponedelnik, and many, many. We have a strong history of Russian football. We have one of the oldest club in Europe. In 1911, CSK Moscow was born. So we know football history, and this is like their identity. We have a lot of kids who start training in football in 2018 because Russia was in quarterfinal, and that was the football boom in our country. But I know we don't have a lot of pitches, because Russia is too large country, and we have Moscow, we have St. Petersburg, we have Krasnodar, but it's like the 15% of our country. And other country, we don't have a lot of beaches because, for example, for my country, I was born in Siberia, and we don't have a lot of beaches because have too cold winters. We don't need to play a lot of football because we have a lot of different sports like the futsal. We have horse races or something like that, for and we don't have a lot of kids maybe, but we have a strong coach staffs. We have a lot of major academies like Spartak, CSK, Lokomotiv, Zenit, Krasnodar. We have a lot of kids, but not much like in Brazil, not much like in Argentina or in Europe. We don't have we something between this, we between these countries and these countries. We're not high. We don't have a lot of high education like Europe, but we don't have a poor country to. We have a lot of. We have 15 or 17 good stadiums. We have academies, but maybe something between, But in for years, for these 4 years we have a lot of football pitches starting to grow. We have a lot of kids starting to grow, and that's a positive news for our Russian football. And I have a presentation of our methodology, presentation of our philosophy. I can show you right now here if you don't mind. I don't hear you. Do you hear me?
Oh, sorry about that. I
Oh,
don't
yes.
know. I don't know how to share your screen.
Yep, I can share for sure.
Oh yeah.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Do you see?
Hold on. There we go.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're
true.
good. Yeah.
So this is me. Yep. As you know, I working in Lokomotiv for 3 years. I working with the woman major team, woman youth team. I working with the kids, men kids, 2012 and 2011 was born, and right now I'm have a BUEFI in progress. And yes, this is me. You can see me. Uh, this is our philosophy, we preparing a strong individual player for the major team. This is the main goal of our academy, because the Lokomotiv has more domestic players in Russia, the highest percent of domestic player in Russia right now. So, what do we develop in player? The major development player, we of course we have technically, we have a strong coach staffs, and we have a lot of uh, technically development, of course, physically, tactically, and emphasis of even individual players. We trying to build them more technically. Yep, this is my team. This is my example. What we are trying to do, we are trying to control dominance in build up, in second phase, in third place, and of course, every team in the Lokomotiv trying to be short passes in build up. And this is an example, just how we try to play. As allied players, 1v1, try to be more fast, try to be more dominant in the second zone, create 2v1, create 1v1, and yeah, just like the Spain trying to do in this World Cup. No risk transition, and we avoid vertical chaos. We are trying to be a compact structure during the possession. We ensure that if we lose the ball, we are already in the optimal position to counter press or drop down. Out of possession, we are trying to be more aggressive in the third zone. We always trying to practice the high press in the third zone, and our team is trying to be more aggressive on the pitch. So we are teaching our players to be more aggressive in the third zone. And every year of Lokomotiv from U10 to U21 are trying to be more aggressive in the third zone. Yeah, just like I show you there. And let's go to our performance. We have our individual performance. We have 5 coaches who work with every year, so they are trying to coach every group of our players individual. So we have a pre-training test. Of course, we have biomarkers. We are trying to get the lactate and creatine, kinase, phosphate. This is for our old group age of U21 or U19. We are measuring a biological readiness before the boots are on. So we are trying to check up our players before the pitch. We have our medical development staff, so they check every player in our academy, so they know what about here. Of course, every player from U15 to senior major team submits daily wellness report. So this is our medical staff doing. Monitor sleeping quality and stress level, nutrition, and muscle soreness. So we are trying to check up every biomarkers in our player here. We have an analytics department. Every single squad from U15 to U21 and major team have our own performance analyst. This is my first year in a Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm working with the major women team like a performance analyst. And we are trying to build up our database. We have data analytics. We have a tactical theory scouting. Of course, we have our scout department. They are one of the best in Russia. They have scouts every region in Russia. So we are scouting player from 8 years old. So we can scout every player in Russia from 8 years old. We have a lot of scouts, maybe 8 or 9, something like that.
Can I make a question?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you go back one slide, please? You were before. Yeah. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Please. You say he provided evidence-based clips for Tuesday's post-match analysis, right?
Yep.
Cool. So can you explain how it works, please?
Every player have a. Of course, we have a performance analyst from every team decided to U15 to U21, and the match off, of course, and maybe analyst or coach wants to provide some of the individual clips, and analyst making these clips for maybe every player if he wants to. I made clips for every player who was playing on the match, so I'm got many maybe mistakes, maybe good deciders in match. So, and I'm trying to clip this and work with individually with the player before the match and after the match.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. So you do this every time you have a game. After the game, you have this kind of class with the players, right?
Yeah. That's not for every player, but maybe for 5-6 guys who wants to work individually, and maybe some of the players have the problem, in my work, I have one young kid. He was so talented, but he always wants to play with the ball. He was a central midfielder, but he goes in third zone, in first zone, and he wants to play with the ball every match. And this was not the best decisions in the match. He wants just to rush every time. He has a lot of mistakes, and I'm showing him his clips and says, "Do you feel okay? Do you see that is okay? You don't help your teammates. You don't help your team. You just play with the ball every time and want to win this match like that." And he says, "No, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea, of course." and I show him the Luka Modric game in the Real Madrid, and I said, Luka Modric touched the ball, maybe 20, 30 times in the match. He plays with the ball only 2 or 3 minutes a minute in the game. That's not high, and I want to show them that Modric is the great player, but he don't play with the ball every time. He trying to think, he scanned the pitch, and he says, "Oh yeah, I understand you. That's okay." So this is my work as an analyst, was just like that. I showed him individual clips before the match and after the match here.
Okay, all right. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a medical and rehab department. We have rehabilitation specialists, a lot of good rehabilitation work in Lokomotiv. They work in group and they work in individually 80% of the time, and they have I mean this so hard work, rehabilitation. And the injured players are not just out, they follow a rigorous data tracked individual program to return stronger and more resilient. So we have our own rehab department in Lokomotiv for young players and for a major team. This is our microcycle. So this is our mid-week cycle that we are working for. And this is for my team. This is for U21 guys. And, we don't have our major methodic. Every coach works like he knows and like he wants to work with our kids. So we don't have a strong methodically microcycle for every year. So this is my microcycle in my team looks like. So yep, we have a day off, or maybe we have if we have a match in Sunday, we have a Monday off. We have a recovery, and you can see what we can do in Monday. And total passive recovery for those who don't play, the load, and compensatory training. So if a player don't play too much or maybe don't play at all, we have a load and compensatory training. Monitoring, of course, we have biomarkers. We reviving wellness data for red flags. Maybe he don't sleeps well. Maybe he has a stress issues and something like that. The Tuesday we have a reviving press session like that, and we are checking our player. Maybe some of them don't have good biomarkers. We don't let them work on this day. We have a post-match analysis. We correcting internal structure errors, unit specific feedback. We are speaking with our players, what went wrong, what we can do better, and something like that. We have a neuromuscular load. We focus individual 1v1, maybe small-sided games. We have a gym in Tuesday, maybe low gym, but for the high load is on Wednesday. So just like the light training, to get better in Wednesday and Thursday. Yep. In Wednesday, we have a physical output, finalizing high-speed drill. We have a huge load in gym, legs, shoulders, and we focus on maximum speed in Wednesday. So this is our high intensity, so peak of our physical. Finishing in the final third, interaction between players. We have a live GPS monitoring. Of course, we have a catapult. We have a polar. We are, we have a live GPS monitoring. Yep, and you can see every hour day for sure. If you have a question for every day, I can answer them.
No, I was thinking about, um, you are talking about match and recover all these things, and I just remember, uh, how is your experience there in terms of pressure for the coach? Let's say the U14, the U16, the U15 to win
Mhm.
games, because it's a big problem, in the United States, also in Brazil. The coach, he's a U14, for example. So they are not professionals. And sometimes the coach is in a hard spot because one side tells you you are developing the players, but the other
Mhm.
side tells you you have to win. If you don't win, doesn't matter, it's a U14, they will call you a bad coach. So how it works there?
You know, we don't have a problem with that issue because Lokomotiv is one of the major academy in Russia. So we have a best of the best players in Russia. So we don't have weak players. I mean, I don't mean you have weak players, something like that. But we have best of the best. So we are not a babysitters. We are professionals, so we don't have issues with you know with motivation of players. They know they have to be a professional, they have to perform well. We are working with them like not we are working with them not like just kids. We are working with them like professionals. You are 12 years old, but you are a professional player. You are want to be best of the best, so you have to be hard working every day on the pitch. If you don't perform well, you're lazy, maybe you don't want to play, okay, you're gonna kicked out. So search for the weak team, and this is this is a motivation of ours. So I don't mean we are not I don't know how to say that, but yeah, this is our philosophy. We have the best of the best, so you have to hard work. Yeah.
So you teach your kids since 10, 11, 12 years old, you teach them to have commitment, discipline, responsibility, right?
Of course. If
Yeah.
you have a bad responsibility, if you bad talk, if you don't work on the pitch, so you are gonna kick out, and that's all. I don't mean we working on them. Of course, they have a mental maybe problems. Some of them, maybe I don't know how to say it, but we have a strong academy. So we are working only with the best that we have right now. So we, of course, we are teaching them how to be a professional, how to work on the pitch, and everything like that. So we don't have a lot of kids like that. We have maybe one or two of them in our squads have. Maybe they have issues. Maybe they think they're Lamine Yamal right now, and I can do whatever I can. So, but we are working on them. Of course, we have huge talents. We have central forward Igor. We have he is I don't know how to say it, but he looks like R9. He has a strong right leg. He has a strong left leg. He 1.85 meters tall, but he is only 17 years old. He scores 5, 6 goals in the game, and we have talents like that. They are best in Russia. They are best maybe in Europe for their years. In last year we are playing with Fluminense. 2011, Fluminense came to Moscow to play with us, and we are lost only 1-2. So this maybe best academy in Brazil, but we are not looking bad. We scored first. We just like the England Argentina yesterday. We are 16 minutes. We are leading 1-0, but we passed 2 goals in maybe in 5 minutes. But we are not looking bad. But yeah, we have kids like that. We can outplay Fluminense. We outplayed Crvena Zvezda. No, the Red Star Belgrade. We outplayed them 5-0. So we have strong kids, but yep, just like that.
All right. Okay. Thank you, coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have any more slides? You can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, this is our mentally principles. We trying to create a positive and balanced atmosphere, professional attitude of all of the team members, coaching staff, players, trying to develop a constructive sporting and social character. We are solidarity with teammates and respect for opponents, striving for victory through progress. Combined player development and achieving tournaments results. Of course, that you are say maybe 10 minutes ago that you have issues about development and achieving tournament results. So we are develop our player through the results, maybe through the results, through achieving the results, because our academy is number 1, number 10 in Russia. So we have to show results for sure. We cannot be on 6th, 7th positions. This is bad for us because we are trying to be best in league. So we cannot accept these results just like the 5 or 6 position in the league. So we are achieving our tournament result. Yep, this is me. You can find me here. So if you're enduring, if you have a question, so I'm here waiting.
Sorry about that.
No,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah, I have a question about the mentality. You said a couple of seconds ago about the mentality. How do you do with your academy? Is maybe, let's say, top 3 in all Russia. Okay, let's say your academy is top 3 on Russia. So how do you do when you see kids underperforming because for some reason they think they should be, let's say, your starting 11, but they are not your starting 11, and then they start to underperform because they don't feel motivated, they don't feel happy? How do you do with that?
We are trying to create a positive balance in pitch. We are teaching them a lot of technical skills. We are teaching them to be a professional, and of course, we are saying, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi can be defeated. They can be in bad mood, maybe they can score 5-6 games in a row, and that's a normal. That's okay. But if you are performing not normally for 6 months, okay, this is a big problem. We have to work on that. But okay, you can lose 2 games in a row, okay, but if you are saying like, okay, I'm lost, okay, that's okay, I'm a big star, we can outplay the Spartak. I'm been in that situation. In last year we are winning 5 games in a row, and our players are saying, okay, we are the best, okay, let's go, we can win this Spartak. We cannot perform well in this game, okay, but we are lost to Spartak 5-2, and that was a shock for us. And we just we have a theory, and we are showing them not a football game. We are showing them a fans. We are showing them their mistakes. We are showing them their responsibility, and they say, "Oh, wow, okay, coach, we are shit." I'm sorry for that, for this bad word, but really, they say we are shit. I'm sorry, coach. We are going to be better. This is a lesson for us. This is a big lesson for us. So yeah, and the next time we outplayed Spartak 4-1, and that's we are gonna be happy, and I'm showing them the score for the for the full week. I'm every training starting, because I'm saying them, we are won the Spartak 4-1, guys. Enjoy, okay? You earned it, but if you are gonna be lazy next time, okay, I'm gonna put you out, and you are not gonna be played in starting 11. That's simple.
Okay, I got you. One more question in terms of your academy. A big problem in Brazil, you have a lot of cases in Brazil that big clubs, like you said, Fluminense, they release the player. Let's say a U15. They release the player because the player is too small, because the player is not physically, in a good situation, because he's behind in terms of maturation. And then 3 years later, they see this player, another club playing very well, playing a very high level, playing a completely different situation, and they realize, wow, we just didn't have patience
Yep.
to wait for his maturation. You know what I mean? Some kids, they are 15 years old, but they looks like 11. But they are very good here. They're cognitive.
Yep.
So how do you do with this there?
That's simple. Every club has this golden mistake. I mean, this is a really golden mistake, and we have a great case for this. Alexei Batrakov, who is playing right now from Lokomotiv Moscow. He's a small guy. He's just like 1 meter and 70 centimeters, just like that. He's just like the Messi, maybe 5 centimeters tall, but he don't perform well. He when he was a kid, and Lokomotiv wants to kick him out because you're the last one. You're a silly guy. You don't know how to be in a good position. But this was a lesson. Lokomotiv coach Alexei Vashkevich. You don't know them, but he's a great kids coach. He's coaching for like 25 or 30 years. He's an old guy, but he's a golden guy because he knows that Alexei is going to grow like I don't know, like the Modric, and he don't pressure him. He says to Lokomotiv, don't kick him out. Don't kick him out. Just give him 3 or 5 years, and he will be growth. And that's the works. He one of the best players for Russia. I mean, for the past 10 years, he is a really good. You can search for YouTube Alexei Batrakov skills, and you see this is a very clever guy because he can score. He can get a lot of assists. He is a very knowledgeable guy. He see everywhere, and that's okay. That's okay. Matvey Kislyak from CSK Moscow. He is a central midfielder. He is 25 or 30 million euros in transfer market. He was a small guy too. He was in Chertanovo, Moscow. This is one of the best academy in Moscow. They kick him out. They say you are too small, And the CSK Moscow bring this player, and he one of the greatest player in Russia, in the Russian league right now. So that's okay. I know a lot of cases that clubs don't believe in players, and that's okay. But we don't know about this maybe 1,000 kids who don't give them chance, and that's okay. We can make the mistakes, but of course we can we can see through the future. Maybe he don't want to play football in 2 years. Maybe he really don't growing up like that. But if you have that mentality, if you have a strong mental, if you have a brain, of course you can grow. Of course you can grow and be better. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, all right. Yeah, it's the same situation in Brazil. Sometimes they because of these details they lose $30 million, $40 million, $50 million. And yeah, it is what it is. Two more questions, coach, before you wrap up. Before we wrap up, um, do you have futsal there? How is futsal for Lokomotiv?
We don't have a futsal team, but we have a different futsal, and the major clubs of Russia and futsal are not they are different from each other, but we have different futsal teams like the Sinara, maybe CPRF. They are placed in Champions League and every time, but they don't connect to major football clubs.
Okay, so with your let's say U10, U11, how do you coach them? You coach them. Which age group you start to play 11v11?
We 11 on 11. It's like right now it's 2013, 13 years old. We are starting to 11 on 11.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
In Brazil, maybe what
yeah.
age group of age?
In Brazil, we are in a very, very special moment because for years, many clubs gave up about futsal, and now they start to, pay attention futsal again. And as our culture, we use futsal since 6 years old, and at the age of 11, 12, 13, this window, depends on the club, but this window, 11, 12, 13, they start to do the transition. Used to be like this for many years, and then they stopped. And then some clubs are going back to this, using more futsal for little kids. And, this age group, 11, 10, 11, 12, to do the transition. So for field,
I understand this like the hybrid methodology about the futsal and the high football. I know with the Fluminense, I was preparing for this team, and I saw they play in futsal just like the major tournament. Where they play 11 on 11, they play futsal, the same team. It's okay. They play futsal. The next week they play 11 on 11. The next week they play futsal again, and that's a good point. We don't have a lot of futsal in Moscow because I don't know. Maybe Moscow is too rich for futsal. Maybe they don't want to play futsal because the major futsal teams in Russia are based not in Moscow. They are based far away because maybe we have a city called Norilsk, and Norilsk are too cold country, but this too cold town. I mean. And they have a lot of money because they have gas, they have ferrum and something like that. But they build the club, the futsal club in the city, and they perform well. This is one of the best futsal club in Russia, but they don't have pitches. Of course, they don't have pitches for 11 on 11. So this is like they're not connected.
All right, yeah. It's very cultural, It's inside the Brazilian culture. Futsal is very, very strong, and it's something that I think should never be removed.
Yeah, I agree with you because we have issues in Russia because some of the players, maybe maybe you 18 years old, 19, but they can't play 1v1. They are searching for the player, I cannot play 1v1. I can only pass, I can only score. And that's the problem, because we don't have a 1v1 strong 1v1, because we don't have individual players like Vinicius, like Rodrigo, like, I don't know, like Kaká, or maybe Ronaldinho, because they growth on futsal. They are enjoying football on the streets. I'm too street. I'm playing on the street every day because I just want to play football, and maybe I don't have that issue. I can play 1v1 when I was 18, 19, but the modern kids, they don't know how to do that, because this skills only grows on the street, only grows on the futsal, only grows on the small-sided game. But we have a lot of small-sided games, we have 5v5, 4v4 rondos with naturals or something like that. But this is not exactly the same when you are playing on futsal,
Yeah, I got you. And my last question would be, next year is the Women's World Cup in Brazil, 2027.
Mhm.
So how is the locomotive for the women's football?
That's okay, because we have a huge growth of Russian women teams, because maybe 12 years ago we have two strong teams in Russian women league. But right now we have UEFA rights, so every major club in Russia has to be a woman team, and right now we have 15 teams in our Russian divisions, and they are grown every year. They have a huge growth, because this is interesting for Russian government to added a lot of money to women's football, and that's okay, because I work with a major women football club, and that's okay. I respect that, because we have a strong national team, because 2 weeks ago, or 1 month ago, we are playing against China, a woman national team, and China is a top 5, I guess, top 6, something like that, and we are outplayed them 2-1. And I guess we don't have a problems with the Russian women football, because we have strong girls, we have strong national teams, we have strong clubs. We have Ryazan is a city, and they was twice in Champions League final, Women Champions League final. They was twice. They lost to Leon only 2-1. So yep, we have that. Yep.
Okay, coach, thank you so much. It's our time is gone, and I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, listen, a little bit about Russia culture. I'm a big fan, not because of my name, but I'm a big fan of Russia, in terms of sports. All sports, they are very tough to be beating. It's always a problem, when you have a Russian team. It's always, even for, let's say, I love to watch UFC. When you have a Russian fighter, it's always a big problem. So it's a country that produces a lot in terms of sports. You know what I mean? All sports. So very nice to listen to you, know a little bit about your culture, about locomotive culture, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Igor, to inviting me. I appreciate that, and we love Brazil too. We have a Brazilian footballers. I love watch UFC. I love Alex Pereira for sure. I love them. Charles do Bronx. Let's go. Yeah, that was a cool too. So thank you for inviting me, and yeah, have a good day. Yeah.
You too, Daniel. Thank you so much. Okay, have a very good day, and we keep in touch. Hopefully, we can talk again in the near future. Thank you so much, man.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Igor.